Hey there, so in this video, we're gonna talk about advanced objective training. So if you wanna have better conversations, or let's just say your bot is not having the greatest conversations and not getting the best answers out of contacts or leads. Well, let's take a look here. So on our detail bot here, we have a vehicle type. Now, let me show you kind of what we went through before we got to where we got here. Typically, I start with just prompting the short description, and we just wanna determine the type of vehicle at lead name has. Now, we had a sensitivity of 50, and we had people that were saying simple things like car or truck. And that was getting passed along because our sensitivity was right here in the middle. So this option right here, if you click the little drop down arrows, will show you a little option where you can add pass or fail answers in here and basically just give it examples. Now, the thing to keep in mind here is your sensitivity is what will base how these respond or how they're treated, meaning that our sensitivity is at 50. So anything lower than a 50 will automatically fail, meaning it's not good enough of an answer, and our bot will retry up to the maximum amount of attempts. Now, what that means is look at the car right here. Car is not an acceptable answer. It's a 10. However, if I was to raise this to a 52, you'll notice that it is higher than the sensitivity threshold, and now I have trained it that this is an acceptable answer. But since it's not, this is what I'm going to leave it at so that it fails it. So this advanced objective training is really meant for you to have these, build a bot, have the bot working, and then you find these scenarios where it's passing along information or passing along answers and you don't like them, or you would respond a different way, or your client would respond a different way. So it's really just meant for you to give an example like truck. How would I determine, what we need to do for this? Well, I'm giving it an example that, hey, truck is not acceptable, and here's how the assistant should respond. So to determine pricing, can you be more specific, like year, make, and model? So we're just telling the bot or giving the bot an example of how we would respond if somebody said truck. Now, it's not gonna do this verbatim, but it will take this context and give a similar reply, so that way it can hopefully get that accurate of information. Now, we're also saying that I have a 2016 Ford Mustang. This literally fits all the criteria of us needing a year, make, and model, which is what I ended up adding in the extra prompt area. But we literally want that type of an answer. So I'm showing that that's a 94. That's pretty much the highest of the high rating that we want. And that's the type of answer that we're looking for. So again, give it the answers that you do not like, tell it how you would answer, and then rate it. But as long as it's lower than the threshold here, it will not pass that along. And you can do this, I wouldn't say max this thing out, but every time you have an instance where something goes through or your bot responds in a way that your client doesn't like or you don't like, train it on how you would respond in the future, and your bot will be on its way to being an all-star.